have the floor.
So, I want to start by thanking everybody for being here tonight. Again, taking time out of our daily lives. I know we all have a lot going on. Tonight's class is going to be a little bit different. Originally, Dr. Sam was prepared to teach this class, and he is not in the office today. So we're kind of pulling together as a team effort. I'm going to be doing the majority of the class, but I have the lovely ladies to help me as well. So tonight's topic is how to feel after an adjustment. And I know that I'm pretty sure everyone or almost every single person in this room has had at least one chiropractic adjustment. So we all sort of have our own experiences. And instead of just me talking to you guys for half an hour, I figured I would start with, well, actually, who would like to start? We'll just go right down the line. So we'll talk about our experiences because it's always good to hear what other people are experiencing and maybe you can relate to that or take something away from it. So, Steph, when was your first chiropractic adjustment?
7.5 years ago when I was 24, just a patient, not working here.
And why did you originally come into the office?
Low back pain.
And how did you feel after that first adjustment?
I went grocery shopping right away with my boyfriend at the time, my husband now, and had an awful migraine, neck ache. I was like, why am I experiencing so much pain in my neck when I came in for low back pain? So I was worried.
You were worried, but you work here, so you obviously came back.
Yep, I came back. I was coming 3 times a week like most of you start off as. And I had been explained, I went through the whole new patient process, the first visit, then the report of findings, and then a class. And I was explained that, it could happen, soreness could happen, that my body was going to be changing, new muscles are being worked that hadn't been worked before, just like going to the gym. So I stuck with it, and it never was as bad as that first time. It got better, obviously.
And you're glad you stuck with it.
Yeah.
I mean, you work here.
Yeah, a year later.
You can't get rid of her.
A year later, they hired me, so
And since you started coming, obviously you had that headache the first time, but overall, what health changes have you noticed?
My low back, never hurts anymore. I used to get migraines all the time, and maybe once a year I get a migraine. Less anxiety. I was on medications when I started. I'm not anymore. I sleep great. I have more energy.
So you're happy you stuck with it?
I'm good, yeah.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So that's a unique, I'm sure, we don't have to raise hands, but I'm sure somebody in this room has had a headache after an adjustment. But we know that as Steph stuck with it, eventually the body is always healing. The body is never doing anything that is trying to take it further away from health. But I'm glad you stuck with it too, Steph. All right. And so then, Erica, when was your first adjustment?
Almost 8.5 years ago.
And why did you come in?
I could not stand up straight. I don't even know how I injured myself, but it was right before I started working here, and I literally just stood like this, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. So my roommate at the time actually worked here. She was a front desk CA and chiropractic assistant. And she had talked about it for, the 6 months that we lived together before then, and I just didn't find it necessary at the time to come see chiropractic and learn what it was about. But finally, because of back pain, I came in and got adjusted, and I actually immediately felt better. So I had the opposite experience. I didn't feel worse. I actually felt better when I got my first adjustment. And then the same thing 3 times a week. I'm still 8.5 years later coming twice a week, but that's my own personal preference and because of the way I sit at my desk all day long. But yeah, so I immediately felt better and then literally could stand and no pain probably within a week and a half.
So then my only question to you is if you felt better, why'd you come back after that?
Same thing, I went through the new patient process and knew that it fit my life because I had already not necessarily lived the chiropractic lifestyle, but had the, know that my body is going to not necessarily heal itself. I didn't know that at the time, but I just never went for medications and things like that, so it fit what I was thinking, so it made sense.
Awesome. Yeah. And then last but certainly not least, Miss Jen. I know that before Jen started working here, she had been adjusted elsewhere. So when was your first adjustment?
9 years ago? 8.
8 years ago? And
8 years ago.
Why did you originally go into the office?
Because I had a horrible first pregnancy, and any affliction you could think of, I had. And I spent most of it in the hospital. It was really stinky. So when I found out I was pregnant again, I had a small coronary. Because I was nervous and I can't do that again. So I thought, okay, I need to go I need to be smart about this. So I had heard about chiropractic. I knew I had worked a long time and was best friends with somebody who worked in an office. So I tried it out and it was awesome. I went the whole pregnancy without anything, like nothing, perfectly healthy, which
Did
was
you-
great.
I'm sorry. I was
No,
going to
no.
ask, did you feel awesome after that first adjustment though?
No.
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 What did you experience?
No, I have, like a lot of you, I'm sure, have spent a lifetime beating yourself up because your body can always take it and you're not getting any older and there's no reason why you can't still do those things. So I don't necessarily listen when people tell me I can't do things. I just find a nice way of working around it. So, so I haven't been the best to my body. I have a lot of injuries and they kind of compounded for a long time. So
what did you feel after the adjustment?
headache, like to end all headaches. It was, and it would last, I mean, it probably lasted for a day and a half. It was a long headache. But I hadn't been adjusted ever in my life and I'd done nothing but abuse myself, so.
But you went back.
But I went back because I had a goal and I knew it was not gonna be as bad as whatever I had experienced before. So, so it really didn't take that long and, I also had some numbness in my arms. I used to type a lot. So I had some numbness and that actually hopped arms at some point during treatment. So it sort of stopped here and went to here. And then sometimes I called them seal flippers. I would lose the dexterity for an hour after an adjustment. But it went away and honestly, it's been fine. Generally speaking, I have no immune system. I have never had an immune system. I've had infant diseases in my 20s and 30s. It's very sad. But since I've been adjusted regularly, stuff has been rocketing around the office and I haven't caught any of it, none of it, which is amazing. Even around my family, I am the only one who's not. Of course, they're all getting adjusted now, so now nobody's getting sick. Yay! That's awesome. That's awesome. I used to live at the pediatrician's office, but now even they're not getting sick. So it's worth it. I know it sometimes seems like a pain in the bum. It's hard to work your schedule around or whatever, but the bottom line is you got to make yourself a priority because if you don't make yourself a priority, you're not going to be able to do all that other stuff that you want to do.
Beat yourself up.
Yeah, you can't beat yourself up in a healthy way.
And then
Your
I'll make
body's
yourself
not
a
in tip-top
priority.
shape, so.
All right, awesome. Thank you guys. I know that Steph and Erica have to finish closing out for the night, so they're gonna get out of here. But I believe Jen's gonna stay. So,
Yes.
I think you're gonna man the camera.
I will do that.
Gonna man the camera. Make sure it doesn't tip over. All right, thank you, ladies. So, I figured it's good to hear from our experiences. You can hear two of the girls actually had a bad experience their first adjustment. And it's not to say only your first adjustment is the only time. It can happen after any adjustment. Just so you guys, I mean, I feel a little left out. Everyone else told their story. So I'm going to tell you guys my story. First time I ever got adjusted, I had sort of heard those rumors that once you go to a chiropractor, you have to go for the rest of your life and you're kind of stuck there and they never let you go. So I was sort of kind of like weary of chiropractic. And I was really athletic in high school, and I went for a run one day, and I was sort of like Erica. I came back, and I was like this, and I couldn't stand up. So my dad brought me to his chiropractor, got one adjustment just like Erica. I was awesome. Could stand, I had no pain. I didn't go through the new patient process the way that this office works. I never got any education. I didn't go back. I felt great. Why would I go back? I wasn't in pain. That's why I went. And unfortunately, that problem kept reoccurring. I went off to college because it was a couple months before college, and it kept re-injuring until a chiropractor finally sat me down and literally beat me over the head with the education, which is why learning why you're here and what chiropractic does is so important, because it isn't just about pain. Certainly that's why 99% of us come in through the door, because who likes pain? No, right? No. Not many people.
Are you good?
We're good.
Do you need anything?
No, thank you. Rob likes pain. He's a massage therapist. He can inflict a
I
lot
wanted
of
to
pain.
pop in real quick. I have a client, but anyways. I got my first adjustment after 3 heart attacks. So I was actually in the hospital when Dr. Sam adjusted me. I suffer from migraines and headaches. So, let's see, a year and a half? So I've been getting adjusted for a year and a half. And I want to say between Sam and Dr. Jenna, I'm probably 95% like headache and migraine free.
Awesome.
Man, I feel incredible.
And how'd you feel after your first one?
I
You
was
probably felt
dizzy and I thought I was going to throw up. But Sam said, "It's all right, stand up for a minute." And he put me up against the wall. He put his hands right behind my back. He went, "Okay, breathe." And he went, "Pop!" And I went, "Oh!" And honestly, I thought I was going to throw up all over the floor. He's like, "Okay, you feel dizzy?" "Yep." He goes, "Okay, sit down." But, I mean, you all know, you've all been adjusted by both. It's a great feeling.
Oh, thank you,
So I'll
Rob.
throw my 2 cents in there.
Thank you.
And I'm the massage therapist, so if anybody needs
He's really good at inflicting the good kind of pain, not the bad kind of pain.
I just flipped Dr. Deno, thanks.
Yes. So as you've heard from all of us, there's a wide array of how you can feel after an adjustment, and nothing is wrong and nothing is right. Some people, they feel awesome after their first adjustment, after their 20th adjustment, after every single adjustment. Some people, they don't feel any different, and some people, they might feel nauseous after. They might get a headache or a migraine. I mean, each of us have our own experiences, and like I said, none of them are wrong or right. But why is there such a wide range? Why do some people feel good? Why do some people feel bad? We're not just moving the bones on the spine. There's a lot of stuff connected. I mean, there's muscles going, spine over here. There's muscles that, that's never happened after an adjustment before. That would be bad. So there's muscles that go down here. There's muscles connecting here, muscles here, muscles here, muscles deep on top, muscles that cross. I mean, there's a ton of little intrinsic muscles that are connecting everywhere. So not only are you moving the bones, you're moving the muscles that are attached. Not just the muscles that are attached, but you're also affecting the neurology. The spinal cord goes in here. You're taking pressure off of the nerves that come out, and those nerves, they go everywhere in your body. So if you're taking pressure off of it, any of these segments with any of these symptoms can be affected in your body. And not only that, but it's also controlling the way that the different, the histology, the fluid, it flushes the waste out, it gets the nutrients in, everything is affected. So you're not just isolating one aspect. So why do some people feel bad after an adjustment? I'm going to say this probably 20 times tonight, and if I don't, I should, so I'm sorry, but an adjustment, a properly administered adjustment will never cause you any harm. Even if you don't feel good after, it is always doing a positive effect on the body. So why do some people feel nauseous after? I mean, there's one chiropractor that every time he adjusts me, I get nauseous after. Is he a bad chiropractor? No, he's just stimulating something. He is getting into an area in my back that is going to my stomach, and he's releasing something. I feel great the next day, but I'm always nauseous for an hour or two after. But I still get adjusted by him. Your body is detoxing, it's flushing out the bad. So I was actually talking to Jen about this yesterday. We were talking about gluten and how when some people change their diets and they're adding more vegetables in and cutting the gluten out, they feel kind of crappy for the first couple of days. And they're like, they're nauseous, and they're like, well, I'm making these good changes. Why am I feeling so horrible? And I was like, I'm going to explain it kind of in an extreme, but like think of an alcoholic, right? They're drinking a lot of alcohol, and I think we can all agree that's not good. When they stop drinking all that alcohol, they're going to go through a detox, and they're going to feel even worse. But is the fact that they're not drinking alcohol a bad thing or a good thing? Well, it's a good thing, even though they're temporarily feeling bad because it's flushing it out. So same thing with your body. Even though you might be feeling a little nauseous, you might be feeling some discomfort, it is a good thing because it's getting that bad stuff out and getting you to that good point. Because let's face it, none of us are 100% perfect. We've had bad dietary choices. We've had bad lifestyle choices. I can't imagine there's one person that has never tripped or fallen or had a sports injury or always stands 100% perfect. We've had these histories, and we can't neglect them. We're a whole system. Why do people get sore muscles? I mean, sometimes you get adjusted and it's, oh, my neck is so sore after. Like, I wasn't hurting when I went in. Why am I hurting now? Well, it's the same thing like working out. So, okay, so say you haven't run in a year. And then, well, actually, let's not even go running. Let's go more like, when I was in New York, one of my girlfriends came to visit, and we walked around for about 5 hours that day. And I was in good shape. I ran, I did the elliptical, I did yoga, all that stuff, but I don't walk very much, just walking. The next day, I could barely stand. I was so sore. Well, is walking a bad thing? No. Am I out of shape? I wasn't really out of shape, but it was different than what I'm used to. And same thing, last winter, I went away, and I was throwing a Nerf football with someone. Nerf football is way like nothing, right? Did it for half an hour. I do this motion all day. I don't do this. My arm, I could barely lift it the next day. Was it a bad thing? No, you're just using muscles the way you're not used to. So when you have these subluxation patterns, most of us have had them in our spine for years. We're moving the bones and we're stretching those muscles just like I did walking, just like I did throwing the football, in a way that we're not used to. And you get sore after, but is it a bad thing? No. Again, it's retraining the muscles in a proper position. So those are some of the reasons. I mean, those are just a couple of maybe not so pleasant things they do. Some people get dizzy after. It's opening up the nerves that go to the brain, and sometimes it can be overwhelming. It can make you a little dizzy for a little bit, but again, it's always something that in the long run is good for your body. So we're not going to focus on bad anymore. We're going to focus more on the neutral now. How come sometimes you get adjusted and either you went in feeling fine, you came out feeling fine, you went in feeling pain, you came out feeling the same level of pain? Why does sometimes you don't feel any different? Well, again, it's not that the adjustment isn't doing anything. It's always doing something. You just might not feel it. Only 10% of your nervous system goes to pain. So it could be affecting the 90% that's not going to pain. And it just might not be the part that's going to your stomach or going directly to your brain. It could be expanding the blood vessels, allowing more circulation to the heart. It could be going to your immune system and boosting the number of platelets that are circulating. You're not going to feel that. But just know, I mean, there are studies, and I apologize because I love studies, and I can't believe I don't have any for you guys tonight, but there are tons of studies that show how it's going to affect things like immunity and your resistance to disease and things like that. And if you're a study person, let me know because I can get some for you later. But like I said, you don't always feel the effects of it, but just know that it is doing something. And then we have, sometimes you feel awesome after adjustments, and this is what we all want. And just because it's not going to happen every single time, doesn't mean that, like, the girls, especially Jen and Steph, they stuck with it. So sometimes it's like you get that adjustment, and then you hop up, just like me and Erica, and you're like, I feel great, I'm fixed. And sometimes that makes us the most nervous because we want to make sure that they understand that it's not just about pain. But obviously, because we love each and every one of you, we want you to feel better, so we're kind of shooting for that too. So sometimes you're taking that pressure off, you're removing that hard bone off that soft nerve, and the pain is gone. Some people, they feel kind of a sense of euphoria. Almost, yeah, like just an overall body numbness, tingling, just, And that's good too because, again, it's going directly to the brain. You're releasing that nerve flow. It's like if you have a garden hose and there's water going through it and you're pinching it, and then you suddenly let it go, all that water goes through. And some people get that sensation throughout their whole body, which is pretty cool. And then, this isn't necessarily one of those feelings that is as great as the last two I explained, but I don't know if any of you guys have had an adjustment where you kind of just, your skin breaks out into a cold sweat after. Those are my favorite because you're really releasing a lot of the nerve flow. And again, lots of times that will go with the kind of the tingly, overall good sensation. So what you're feeling can range. Just know that regardless of how you're feeling after the adjustment, it is a properly administered one. But if you everyone's body is different, and we have a lot of different techniques. As most of you guys know, we probably, between Dr. Sandra and myself, we do different techniques. You've probably seen people in the office with different techniques. You hear me when I adjust, there's that loud clanging noise. Sometimes you hear those clicking and popping. Sometimes we use that little thing that kind of looks like a stun gun almost, the clicker thing, an activator. There are a lot of different types of adjustments, and all of them work perfectly. So if we're adjusting you, and it's constantly coming back uncomfortable, we can switch the way we adjust. Because we don't want you to feel discomfort. You can still get an adjustment. We can just try a different kind. So just make sure you're communicating with us because we have a million different tools in our belt, so let us utilize them with you. So just make sure no matter what you're experiencing, even though you know it's a good thing, just communicate with us. We'll work with you, and we'll find the way that's going to get you to that optimal health with the least amount of discomfort. Because if you can go through it feeling not as much pain, why would you go the route that is clearly is not working with your body? So, one of the things that I always like to say is that an adjusted person, regardless of anything, is always better off than a non-adjusted person. Again, what we're dealing with is the neurology. You have your brain and you have your body. The only way that they can communicate is through your nervous system. If you have a subluxation and you are pinching off that communication, then if something is happening in your body, it can't tell your brain what it needs to do. And likewise, if the brain notices something's going on, it can't communicate back to the body how to respond. It might get that communication there, it may not, or it might get there slower. I mean, you have athletes that get adjusted and their speed, their reaction time is faster. People are getting adjusted, like Jen said, she's not getting sick anymore. I mean, it's affecting everything. So I don't care what your age is, what your history is, what's going on in your life, you are always better off adjusted than not. And that's just something that I think is really important to know, regardless of how you're feeling before or after. So, again, I'm really happy that you guys are here. One of the things in our office is we want to get people engaged. We want to get you guys inspired. We're not just here to treat your aches and pains. We want you guys to become better, healthier people overall, as a whole. And we want to give you guys the tools. Like, yes, we are chiropractors, and that is the number one thing we do. But Dr. Sam and myself both have backgrounds in nutrition and dietetics. So if you guys have any nutritional questions, if you have any postural questions, let us know. We can set aside some time and talk to you. He's really involved with the triathlons. I'm really into yoga now. I used to do soccer, but too many concussions. Got to take care of the brain. Otherwise, I'm not going to be much good for you guys. But my point is that we cover a wide variety. So if you have any sort of health issue, we want to get everyone healthier in general. We want those that are inspired to get there, take charge of their health, and get them to that point. This morning, I led a doctor's training from 7 to 9, and then I rushed off to my yoga class at 9:30, and I was telling Steph this story this morning. And I get there, and I'm there, and there's someone that's first time, someone that's clearly been doing it for years, and I can't do everything I used to, and belly gets in the way. But there's a wide variety of people. And then this guy strolls in right as the class is about to start, and I put him somewhere between 75 and 85 in a button-down shirt and khakis, and he is walking like this. And my first reaction, and you don't want to, I was sort of like, is he for this class? I've never seen him before. And he was, and I was like, okay, that's cool. Like, I'm not sure how much he's going to be able to do, but he's there trying. The class starts, we do one pose. It was really hard for him, and he turns up to the teacher, and he goes, hey, so I just wanted to let you know that I have Parkinson's, and I'm really hard of hearing, so I'm not really going to be able to hear you. I know I can't do much, but I know I need to keep moving, so I'm just going to watch everybody else and just do the best I can because I want to try. And I was like, oh my goodness, this man is an inspiration to me. Like, that is who I want to surround myself with. That, I mean, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about him. I couldn't, the whole class, I kept like looking at him and smiling. It was so exciting because he knew that it was a good thing for him to do. And that's what we want to get you guys inspired. Not just chiropractic, but your whole life. And one of the things you might see around the office, I had Stephanie draw this out, is we have this engagement spectrum here. Can everybody see it? So we start over here. This is totally unengaged. You come, you don't really want to be here. Maybe your wife or your husband told you to come. You sit there, you don't care. You're not engaged. Then there's non-responsive. You might come, you don't really know what you're doing, but you're coming at least. Self-serving is sort of that, why most of us come in the first place. I want to get out of pain. That's where I was when I first started my journey with chiropractic. Then we move up into the more educational, and that's where, you want to learn. You might not do anything about it, but at least you're interested in learning, and that's better than not caring at all. But instead, wouldn't you rather be more transformational, where you want to learn and you actually do something about it, where you go and you can't do everything at once because you're going to set yourself up to fail, but you take some of the information and then you translate it into your life to make yourselves overall healthier. And that's pretty awesome. Not as great as inspirational. And this is where we're really trying to move the office up this scale. We want to get to this inspired level, because the inspired level is not only do you care about yourself, do you want to learn more, and do you want to implement it in your lives, but you're inspired to take those around you. I mean, we all have people in our lives that we love. Mothers, fathers, children, friends. There's somebody out there that doesn't know what you know about chiropractic or about overall healthy lifestyles. And I mean, one of the things that I've been working through with some of the other doctors is, why do you do what you do? And I do what I do because I want to inspire the people in the community to go out and take charge of their health, to love themselves enough where they want to do the things to make themselves healthier. And I want to get those around me healthier because I want to grow old and healthy with the people I love. I don't want to grow old and healthy by myself. I want those around me to grow healthier with me. And I just want to bring all of you guys to that level too, because who doesn't want to grow old and happy with the people they love? So all I'm asking is that think of the people that you love and share the information with them. Even if it's just inviting them to the class, they don't have to go, but you know in your heart that you did the best you could. You reached out and you tried, and when they're ready, they will come. So I really want to thank everybody for coming tonight, and try to move at your own pace, but my goal is to get everyone up into that inspired level. I want a better community. When people are healthier, they're happier, everyone will treat each other with more love and respect, and who doesn't want that for the future, right? All right, if there's any questions, hang around, and I'm free to answer them, but besides that, you guys are free to go. Get off a couple minutes early tonight. All right, Marcus, thank you guys. We're gonna get you adjusted now.
Can you get back to your desk maybe tomorrow morning?
You can read that if you want. Actually, remember